I welcome you all for this 10-day faculty development program on the scenario of commerce, management, and economics education after COVID-19, organized by ETHM College Nashik and Savitribai Phule Pune University. The principal of the college, Dr. V.B. Gaikwad, Director, Faculty Development Center, UGC, HRDC, Dr. Sonwane, Coordinator, Dr. V.B. Boraste, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. N.D. Gaikwad, and fellow participants of this program. During this program, I will deal on the topic COVID-19 and its impact on Indian economy. So, COVID-19, coronavirus, is the very dangerous for the economy and for the humanity as a whole. So the COVID-19 has affected the entire society, economy. So it has started in our country from January. Now the number of cases are increasing daily. So this pandemic has arisen due to non-economic reasons. Earlier, there were so many such type of occasions or crises in the entire world. But this is of a different type. It is related to health. Now, previously we are saying that health is most important factor. Health is wealth. We were also saying that if health is lost, something is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. And wealth is lost, nothing is lost. But nowadays, health is playing an important role. So if we consider the budget on health, it is very negligible. The only 1% of the expenditure is on our health. And if we share the total health expenditure of our country in the entire world, it is also only 1%. So health related COVID-19 has severe consequences and the number is increasing daily. In our state also, government is trying to control, and for this we use trace, test and treatment method. So if we consider the entire picture in the world, so we have to distribute the topic in 4 major parts: status of COVID, impact of COVID on the world economy, measures to control the consequences, and some suggestions in order to solve the problems. So the number of cases in the entire world as on 26th June is 98 lakh 98,547. So the number is reaching to crore. If we consider the number of COVID cases in 5 major countries, the number of cases are highest in United States, 24.7 lakhs, in Brazil, 12.7 lakhs, in Russia, 6.20 lakhs, in India, 5.08 lakhs, and in United Kingdom, 3.09 lakhs. So if we see the position of our country, earlier we were 14th or 15th, but now our position is 4th in the entire world. And if we consider the number of cases increasing daily, our position is 2nd in the entire world. If we consider the total deaths occurred due to COVID-19 up till now, 12 point up till now 1,24,416 deaths occurred in United States, 54,971 in Brazil, 43,230 cases in United Kingdom, 15,301 death occurred in our country, and 8,605 deaths occurred in Russia. So if we consider the percentage to total population, the death occur in our country is relatively low. So daily new confirmed deaths up to 26 June 2020. So 14.8% deaths occurred in United States. It is highest in the entire world. The percentage of death in Italy is 14.4, and the percentage of death in our country is only 2.8. So it is better as compared to other countries in the world. So the success of the program to control the disease depends upon the number of tests conducted in the country. The total tests conducted in the world is 7.77 crore, and new test conducted is 2.2 lakhs. 2.2 lakh tests are conducted yesterday only. So if we considered the percentage or number of tests conducted per 1,000, it is 5.6, and new test conducted yesterday in our country is 0.14 per 1,000 population. So the test conducted in our country is relatively low. So the percentage is higher in all the countries, 4 major countries, as compared to India. So the corona cases, if we consider the number is continuously increasing in our country. If we divide this in 5 phases, the number of cases in the first phase as on 25th March, it was only 657, and out of these 3 cases were recovered, and number of death was only 1 in the first phase. But the number of cases is increased in the second phase. It is also increased in the third stage. Number of confirmed cases recovery and death is also increased in the fourth phase and fifth phase also. The figures respect are on the first day of the stage of the phase. If we consider the present position in our country, so today the number of corona affected persons is 5,09,446. Out of these, 2,95,917 cases are recovered, and the number of deaths are 15,689. So the recovery rate is relatively better as compared to the infected person. If we consider the number of days required for 1 lakh affected persons, so the days are decreasing if we consider from first stage to fifth stage. If we consider the first 1 lakh infected persons due to corona, for 1 lakh we require 118 days, and the number of affected persons, infected persons are increasing. For the second 1 lakh population, only 15 days were required as compared to 118 days. For the third lakh infected persons, we required 10 days, and earlier the number was 15 days. For the fourth lakh infected persons, we required 8 days, means in 8 days only 1 lakh infected persons have increased. And in the next 1 lakh population, the current scenario, the 1 lakh infected persons increased in 6 days only, means the rate of increase in COVID cases is decreasing, number is decreasing, number of days is decreasing. It means that we have to take serious steps in order to control the number. So if we consider the number increasing some important states in our country, the number of cases are highest in Maharashtra, 1,52,765, and recovery rate is also more than 50%, 52.25% cases are recovered. And if we consider the percentage of infected persons, 32.12% cases are in our country, in our state, and the death percentage is 465. Recovery percentage is 52.25. If we consider Delhi, the percentage of cases in Delhi as compared to the country is 13.72. Delhi recovery rate in Delhi is 60.97. Death rate is Death percentage is 3.23. In Tamil Nadu, the percentage of confirmed cases is 11.97. Recovery rate is 55.42. Death percentage is 1.27. Fourth state is Gujarat. The number of cases compared to the country is 7.25 in Gujarat. Recovery rate is 73.08 and death percentage is 1.27. So earlier the number was increasing at a lower rate, but recently the increase in number of cases is relatively higher, and therefore all the state governments are trying to control it. So doubling rate, always it is mentioned that our number is not increasing in the same proportion as it was increasing earlier, and the doubling rate is increasing, but it is not a true measure to judge the severeness of the problem. If we consider the position as on 20th March, the doubling rate was 2.23 days. Later on, it increased to 5.82 days. Then next week, 6.06 days. As on 10th April, doubling rate of the infected person was 6.12 days. If we consider 29th May, doubling rate was 17.59 days. And if we consider the present position, the doubling rate is 22.44 days. But though the doubling rate is increasing, but on the contrary, the number of cases are increasing at alarming rate. If we consider the corona cases in Maharashtra, in the fourth phase, the number was only 122. 122 cases were in the state as on 25th March. The number of corona affected person was 2916 as on 15th April. Recovered cases were 295. Number of death was what it so the number of corona cases in Maharashtra as on 25th March was 122. And if we consider the number of cases as on today in the state, it is 1,52,765. Out of this, 79,815 cases are recovered, and the number of deaths in our state is 7106 up to 26th June. If we consider the distribution of our economy, so we have three sectors: activity, nature, according to work condition, and according to asset ownership. If we classify the sectors according to the nature of the activities, we have three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. If we consider the sectors according to working condition, we have two sectors: organized sector and unorganized sector. If we consider two sectors of the economy according to the ownership, we have two sectors: public sector and private sector. So according to the sector, we have to consider the share of GDP, sectoral share in the GDP. So if we compare this from 1951 to 2019, we see that the share of agriculture is continuously decreasing. In 1951, the share of agriculture in GDP was 51.95. Now it is decreased to 16.1 in 2019. If we consider the share of service sector, it is continuously increasing. It was 33.25 in 1951, increased to 54.3 in 2019. The share of industry is also increased from 14.8 to 29.6% during the same period. Means share of industrial sector has increased 2 times, and if we consider the share of agriculture, it is only 1/3 as compared to 1951. On the contrary, if we consider the share of employment in the three sectors, in 1951, the share of employment of agriculture was 72.1%, decreased to 40.5% in 2019. If we compare the share of agricultural sector and the share of agriculture in share of agriculture in employment, it is contrary to each other. So if we consider the share of employment in service sector in 1951 was 17.2%. It is increased to 35.4%, means more than double. If we consider the share of employment of industrial sector, it was 10.7% in total employment, increased to 24.1%, more than double. Means the share of employment of two sectors is increased and the share of agricultural sector in employment is decreased. If we consider the household monthly income, we will see the economic condition. We can judge the economic condition. So cultivators, agriculture in cultivation, agricultural households, monthly income was 3140 rupees. And if we consider the share of cultivation, it is only 35.16%. For non-agricultural household, the figures are negligible. So the share of monthly income of other enterprises is 5.48%. Income is 489 rupees per month. And agricultural households, they are getting 3025 rupees per month from wages. And non-agricultural households, they are getting 3,940 rupees per month. If we consider the income of agricultural households and income of non-agricultural household, we see that non-agricultural households are getting more than agricultural households. If we compare this to total, agricultural households percentage is 33.87 and non-agricultural households percentage is 54.20. And from income from other sources, agricultural households income is 122 per month, percentage is 1.37. Non-agricultural households per month income 152, percentage is 2.09%. And if we consider the income of agricultural household from all the sources is 8,931, and for non-agricultural households it is 7,269. And if we compare this, again, non-agricultural households total income is less as compared to agricultural household. Percentage distribution of households, and if we consider the income in rural areas and urban areas, so self-employed persons, persons employed in agriculture in rural areas is 36.6, and it was 37.8% in 2017-18. Means the income of the self-employed in agriculture is decreased, and non-agricultural, say, household, the income, percentage income is increased from 14.3% to 51.1% in rural areas. So the income of household of self-employed was 52.2% in rural areas in 17-18, decreased to 51.7% in 2018-19. If we consider this in urban areas also, the income of self-employed is decreased from 32.4% to 31.8%. So again, the share of households from regular wage earning, it was 12.7% in rural areas in 17-18, increased to 31.1%, and in urban areas it was also increased from 41.4% to 42.8%. So the share of casual labor was 25.1% in 18-19. It was also 25% in 17-18. From other sources, the share of other sources in household income was 10.1% in both the years. And it was also the same in urban areas in 17-18 and 18-19. So major change is only in case of self-employed, it is decreased, and for regular share of regular wage, it is increased. So if we consider the impact of COVID-19 on different sectors of the economy, so the impact of different sectors on the economy is of a different nature. We have short-term impact. Impact is moderate, high, and severe. And for this also, we need short-term or some cases for sectors, medium-term period is required for long-term also. If pharmaceutical sector impact is moderate, and share is the cost was $55 billion, and retail and wholesale non-food items impact of COVID is severe, and the percentage of this sector in total GDP was 10%. Textile and apparel sector impact is moderate, and recovery period is short term, means we need at least 6 months. Their share is at 2% as in GDP. Logistics sector impact is severe. Medium term is required. Share of this sector is 14%. Metals and mining impact is moderate. Recovery period is medium, may 6 months to 1 year. Share of this sector is 2.4%. Automotive and components impact is very high, and for this we need long period, means more than 1 year. Share of this automotive and component is 7.1 and 2.3 respectively. Entertainment impact is severe, we need long term, and the share of this sector is 3%. Banking sector impact is very high, we need longer period, and the share of this sector is means the value of the turnover is 3 to 5 trillion. Jewelry and gems impact is severe, we need long term to recover. Share is 7% in GDP. Tourism, aviation, hospitality sector impact is very high. So movement is stopped, and most of the flights were stopped during this period. And long-term impact, we have the share of this sector is 9.2%, electronic sector, MSME sector, building and construction sector. If we consider the share is very high and we need a long period, long term to recover, the share of this is 2.5%, 30%, and 13% respectively. Chemicals and petroleum impact is moderate. We need medium term to recover. Share is 2.5%. Education impact is high. Long term is required. And this sector share is $101 billion in total GDP. Agriculture and food impact is moderate. We need short-term share of agriculture in total GDP, as mentioned earlier, is 16.5%. Healthcare impact is moderate and recovery period would be short, at least 6 months to recover. And share of this sector is 1.28 in total GDP. The telecommunication sector is having moderate impact on the economy, and recovery period is also long, and share of this sector is 6.5%. So if we consider the share of major economies in the total GDP of the world, it also varies. And the highest share is of USA, 24.7% share is of America in total GDP of the world. And the growth rate, if we consider, growth rate of GDP is 2.4. The China share in the world GDP is 10.3 and growth rate is 6.1%. Japan share is 5.9% and share is growth rate is 0.9%. Germany, again, share of Germany in total GDP of the world is 4.5 and growth rate is 0.5. If we consider India, the share of our country in the GDP of the world is 3.4 and growth rate is 6.1%. In this way, the share of the country is also UK 2.2, France 2.1, 3.1, UK 3.2, Italy 2.3, Brazil 2.1. And if we considered the impact of COVID-19 on the growth rate of various countries, it is considerable. The growth rate for 17 to 100, 2018, 19, 20, and 21 for a period of 5 years is considered here. The growth rate of United States was 2.4 in 2019. Eurozone, it was 1.6, Japan 0.7, China 6.1, Brazil 1.1. India in 2019 was 4.2, Pakistan's growth rate was 1.9, and Bangladesh growth rate was 8.9. Now, the impact of Corona is severe in almost all, on the growth rate of almost all the economy. So in 2020, growth rate of US would be -5.2, Eurozone -7, Japan -6, China 1%, Brazil -8, India -3.2, Pakistan -2.6, and Bangladesh 1.6. So the condition may improve in the next year, United States growth rate may increase from -5.2 to 4.2, Euro area -7 to 3.9, Japan -6.1 to 2.5, Brazil -8 to 2.2, India -3.2 to 3.1, Pakistan -2.6 to -0.2, Bangladesh. So if we consider the cumulative impact in percentage term, it would be -7.7 in 2020. If for Eurozone, it is -8.4, Japan -6.8, China -4.9, Brazil -10.8, India -9.0, Pakistan -5.0, Bangladesh -5.0. So in 2020-21, only the growth rate of Euro area, Japan and China would be positive, and for all the economies, growth rate would be negative in 2021. So the impact of COVID-19 is very severe on unemployment. So labor force participation rate is decreasing. It is decreased. It was 58.3% in 1995, decreased to 49.3% in 2019. His labor force participation rate has decreased considerably, and most severe impact of COVID-19 is on employment. So during lockdown period, economic activities were standstill, and it has impacted the entire economy of the world, economy of the country, and unemployment is increased at a very high rate during the lockdown period. If we consider the unemployment in June 19, unemployment rate was 8.6%. And if we consider the unemployment rate in June 20, it is increased 3 times. Means 8.26 to 25.79. If we consider the unemployment rate during COVID-19 period, it was 9.41% in March, increased to 24.95% in May, in March, April, and 25.79% in June. So unemployment rate is increased in both the areas. It is increased in urban areas. It is also increased in rural areas. And we know that most of the laborers have left the place of their work, and now they are in their native places, and they have severely impacted because of COVID-19. They have faced so many problems of transportation, and some have traveled on foot, some on bicycle, and they used the vehicle which they could get. So status of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program and MSME credit. So we know that government of India has declared economic package to boost the economy worth 20.9 lakh crore rupees, means 25.9 trillion rupees. So if we consider the average days of employment provided by Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme from 1916 to 2021. So one family or household must get at least 100 days employment during a period of 1 year. But this scheme has not achieved the target in any of the years from 2016 to 2020. So in the year 2016-17, only 46 days employment was provided. In 1780s, 45.16 days employment were provided per household per year in this scheme. In 1819, this scheme could provide 50.88 days employment to the families. In 1920, the employment provided by Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme was 48.39 days. And in the current year, till June 9, from April to the employment provided by Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme is 18.13 days. If we considered the period of limited period, the maximum number of employment is provided per family by this scheme. So if we consider the applications, number of billion jobs, the cards applied for, number of persons applied for job cards, number of job cards issued by the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Authority, and number of active job cards in millions. If we consider year-wise data in 2016-17, active job cards were 60.8 million and number of cards issued 128.3 means, and if we consider number of jobs card applied for, the number of persons applied for the job, and number of persons who could get employment is 50% as compared to the applied for the job. Again, in the year 2017-18, the number increased from 130.9 million to 132.7, and active job card is also increased from 68.5 to 68.5 million to 72.9 million. This active job cards, the number is also increased in 18-19 from 72.9 million to 77.77 million. In 2019-20, active job cards were 82.2 million. If we consider the current financial year, so as compared to the earlier years, number of job cards applied for, number of persons applied for job cards is 144.8 million. Out of these, number of job cards issued 138.1 million, and number of job cards, active job cards is 78.8 million. So it is considerably very high because the number is for only 3 months. So if we consider the funding for this scheme, it is also increasing continuously. The sanction amount for the year 2016-17, it was 57,386.67 crores, and the amount released for the work is 47,411.72. The sanction amount is also increased during the year 2017-18 from 57,386.67 to 64,385.89 crore rupees, and release amount is also increased from 47,411.72 crore rupees to 55,659.93 crore rupees. The number is also increased. The amount is also increased from 2016-17 to 2019-20. Sanction amount increased to 75,738.67 crore rupees, and the amount released is 71,248.77 crore rupees. If we consider again the funding for this scheme during the current year, sanction amount is 32,220.46, and the amount released is 29,904.86 crore rupees. So if we consider the funding for the scheme, the government has increased the allocation under the Act to 1.01 trillion as against 61,500 crore, and budgeted amount was 61,500, and extra allocation of 40,000 crore is also increased. So this is also a welcome sign, and we hope that the fund would not be insufficient in order to continue the work of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, because now most of the persons, those who were left the working place from cities, and now they are also joining the work in Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. So there is a possibility that the number of work seekers would also increase, and hope that they may get employment on this scheme. If we considered the credit, MSME credit disbursed on behalf of sanction credit under credit guarantee scheme and loan. So top 5 banks in terms of loan sanction were State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Union Bank, Bank of Baroda, and Canara Bank. These 5 banks have sanctioned 17,706 crore rupees, and the amount disbursed by these 5 banks is 8,320 crore rupees. And if we consider the amount disbursed to the sanction amount, it is 47%. But now banks are not distributing the credit as per the sanction amount. So banks are also facing so many problems. They also take care that their NPA should not also increase. If we consider the progress of MSME in 5 important states, so the sanction amount in Tamil Nadu is 2019,000 crore rupees, and disbursed loan is 65.6%. In Uttar Pradesh, sanction amount is 1,961 crore rupees, and disbursed percentage is 43.4%. In Gujarat also, 1,696,000 rupees amount is sanctioned for MSME schemes, and amount disbursed is 542 crore rupees. Percentage is 41.2%. 36.4%. In Maharashtra, it is 41.2%, and Maharashtra is fourth so far as the amount is concerned. Andhra Pradesh has sanctioned 1,015 crore rupees. Disbursed amount is 571 crore rupees, and the percentage to total is 56.3%. So the progress is also satisfactory, but still still other states have also to sanction the amount for the MSME projects under economic package program. Government has also kept a desirable amount for the MSME projects. If we consider the impact of effects, if we consider the effects of trade of COVID-19, it is also significant. If we consider the impact in April on mercantile trade in April 2020, export is decreased by 60.28%, and import is also decreased by 58.65%, and total trade deficit is $6.76 billion. If we consider the impact of COVID-19 on service sector, the impact of exports of services is also negative, 2.54% decrease in export of services. Import of services also decreased by 6.37%. If we consider the export, impact of import is considerable, and net service impact is $6.93 billion. If we consider the overall say impact on international trade, so exports minus 36.65%, on imports minus 47.36%. But if we consider the trade balance, it is surplus 0.16%. So it is for the first time that the trade balance is surplus, and for earlier years it was negative. It was mentioned by the Commerce and Industry Minister. If we considered the revival of our economy we have to work very hard. And this was COVID-19 is a unique case. In COVID-19, the economy has affected on both the sides, demand side and supply side. Earlier, the economic crisis have occurred in the entire world due to some reasons, one or the other reason. But here, supply and demand, both sides were severely affected. For this, we need both monetary and fiscal measures. RBI has also taken various steps in order to boost the economy, in order to uh, make the position of the bank more sound, and fiscal measures have been also adopted. Monetary policy has to maintain liquidity in the market, and fiscal policy has to push the economy by public spending. But nowadays, it is very difficult for the government to spend on various projects. The entire budget is also is exhausted on the COVID-19. Health sector expenditure is more as compared to other sectors, and uh, Government of India has also initiated Atma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and for this considerable amount have been provided, and that is 20.97 trillion rupees. And government has mentioned that the amount is 10% of the GDP, but most of the amount in this package is in the term of loan, and now most of the entrepreneurs are not ready to take loan, but there is no guarantee that their product will be sold in the market. And most of the experts are saying that the package is not of 10%. Some are saying that it is 1% to 2% in the economy. So for improving the economy of our country, our Prime Minister has also mentioned that through internet, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, we can increase the production in our country, and public cooperation is needed. Most of the workers have to work very hard, but if the entire family is disturbed, so entire village and the state has to bear the consequences of the bad health of the people, because uh, government has to spend more on improving the health of the people, health of the society. And for this, now what is in our hand is only to follow the instructions given by the government. We have to keep physical distancing, social distancing, and we have to use mask. And not only this, we have to tell to others that if we follow the instructions given by the society, by the government, then only we can save our life. And if we will not follow the rules, it would be beyond the control of the government. So my humble suggestion to you is to orient the people that they have to follow the instructions given by the government in order to improve their health. Thank you. Sorry. So only one point is remain. If we say boycott the Chinese economy, it is everywhere there is a discussion. But if we consider the share of China in smartphone, their market size is 2 lakh crores and their share is 72%. And it is very difficult to substitute this. In telecom and equipment, their share is 1,20,000 crore. Market size is 1,20,000 crore and share is 25%. In television, share is 25,000 crore, share is 25%. non-smartphone is 9%, and it is possible to cut the possible, but in that case, the cost may rise. Home appliances share is 50,000 crore. Market size is 50,000 crore. Share is 12%, and it is very easy to use made in India products. Auto components market share is 5,700 crore dollar. Share is 26%, and it is very hard to. It is very difficult to search for alternative. Internet apps, 450 million smartphone users are there, and percentage is 66%. And we have at least one Chinese app. There is no domestic alternative, and some are available but failed. Solar power market size is 37,916 megawatt, and share of solar power of Chinese in our economy is 90%, and therefore it is very difficult. It is impossible. Still, 108.5 million tons market size. Share is 20% possible, but very tough. In pharma industry, market size is 200 crore dollar. Share is 60%, and it is very difficult to substitute China. And some suggestions to improve the economic condition of our country, role of government. So it is very difficult to increase the share of government in the economy, in economic activities at this stage. But government has to try to provide maximum employment opportunity to the public. Medical facility and infrastructure should be improved, because we do not have sufficient hospital beds. We do not have sufficient doctors, and therefore number of medical colleges and the intake capacity has to be increased. Demand should be created in the market. There is no demand because most of the people have lost their job, they have lost their income, and therefore without the purchasing power, it is very difficult to demand the products. Supply chain should be maintained properly, because during the period of lockdown, most of the spare part industries were closed, and no regular supply of raw material was there. Auto industries suffered most during the period of lockdown. Focus should be on the supporting industries. Without supporting industries, major product cannot be increased. Purchase of agricultural products, government has to make some provisions to start the purchasing of agricultural product, give some incentives to the farmers, because during the lockdown period, the severe affected class was the agriculturists. They could not sell their agricultural produce in the market, not sell, could not say bring from the farm to their market also. MSME should get priority. Government has made so many say provisions for this. Government has changed the definition of MSME. So this sector can boost the economy. Proper planning to generate employment, including migrants. So migrant laborers, so their number is considerable. They must get employment. Social security measures. Now security is also most important problem during say lockdown. Most of the people are mentally affected. Some persons in the family have committed suicide. There is no security, theft and other social offenses are increasing. And in order to overcome all the say problems, government has to make important say measures. So with this, I conclude, and I am thankful to the organizers, and my fellow delegates.